HR professionals are the people in the workplace that make sure that everybody else is taken care of, going beyond just payroll and benefits, making sure that the culture is one where people feel valued and respected and where people feel full. But what do you do when you're the one that's running on E? Hey, it's Brittany, CEO and founder of Talent Teams Consulting, and I am back with today's video. Today we're talking about mindfulness and some tools and tips and techniques that you can take into your day, into your life, into your year when you feel like you're running on E. I'm passionate about helping HR professionals, solo HR practitioners specifically, to go from feeling like you're in a chaotic environment to feeling like you're in more control. So if that sounds like something you're interested in and you're not subscribed to this channel already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and tune in for more videos just like this. Day in and day out, and sometimes even after hours, you're responsible and you take care of everybody else around you, from the people in your job, from your team that you to support, to your life, to your family. And so again, when you're doing all of these things, you want to make sure you're not leaving yourself out of the equation. Let's dig into mindfulness. And what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is really just a state of being aware of something. So on this channel, we talk a lot about being intentional. Had a whole 30-day series about how to build your HR career in an intentional fashion. So if you're interested in that, click the link down below. But when I talk about being intentional and being aware, it's really just doing things on purpose. I often talk about doing things not only with purpose, but doing things on purpose. So in this area of your life, it's no different. Mindfulness is a powerful tool to not only help you to build your own well-being, but to care for yourself in the process. Whatever level of stress you're feeling in your job right now, in your day right now, is going to change with every level of work that you have. For example, when I was working under the leadership of a senior HR manager, my stress level was different than it was when I was working by myself in HR. That was different than it was when I started to lead a team. So with each level that you move into, with every level that you rise to, you want to make sure that you are continuously understanding what makes you whole, what makes you feel complete. And mindfulness is a powerful tool to help you do just that. I'm a strong believer that before you can lead anybody else, you have to first learn to manage yourself. So mindfulness is a really great tool to do that. So think of it as a tool to help you to hone this skill of learning how to manage yourself, be in tune with yourself, and see what you respond to best before you start to lead other people. I'm often committed in my personal life and in my work life for my ability to be the calm in the middle of a storm. I'm very level-headed when it comes to making decisions. Not much rattles me when it comes to making decisions in this way, but that's a learned skill. So not everybody has that ability naturally. If you have that ability naturally, then that's great. But if you're still working on honing that skill, understand that it is a skill that you can hone. If it's something that you're being intentional about working toward, you can easily get there. You just got to know what you're striving for and how to get there. My kids started camp the other day, and our 5-year-old son, he woke up that morning and said, I don't want to go to camp. I don't want to go to camp, even though he was excited about camp just weeks before. So I was talking to him. I said, well, why are you not excited? Tell me 2 reasons why you're not excited about going to camp. And his first reason was, well, what if I do the wrong thing? And I said, well, okay, well, what do you mean when you say do the wrong thing? Are you thinking that you're going to do the wrong thing, like make a mistake? Or are you thinking you're going to do the wrong thing, like you're going to do something bad and get in trouble? What do you mean? He says, well, I think I'm going to do the wrong thing. I'm going to make a mistake. I don't want to make a mistake. And I was telling him, listen, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. Remember when I had to apologize to you the other day for when I misunderstood what you said? We have to understand that even as kids, as adults, we're just big kids. The other thing that he was upset about was he said that, what if people are mean to me? And I said, well, listen, that's okay. First of all, that's a part of life. People are mean to me. I'm a grown up and people are mean to me. And if they are mean to you, then that teaches you how to deal with that person, how to not deal with that person. You got your sisters there. You've got your cousin there. So again, I say this story here to tell you that even at his age, he's 5 years old. And I'm talking with him, trying to help him understand his feelings, help him understand, well, it's okay to feel what you're feeling, but let's talk it out. So in my opinion, being mindful is right around that same idea. You've got to understand that it's okay to feel how you feel, but you've got to be able to express, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? Do you know why you're feeling that way? I'm excited about today's conversation because in life, there will be highs and there will be lows, but you want to be known as the person who's going to be able to be calm through it all, level-headed through it all. There will be some very difficult things you have to go through, difficult things you have to talk other people through, you might not even be a part of it. So being mindful of your own emotions, being mindful of your own feelings is really going to help you to be a more successful HR professional, because you can be counted on even in times of crisis. One thing you can do on this journey towards being more mindful is to practice some deep breathing. And so I'm not telling you have to go sit in a dark room and things of that nature, but what I am saying is that sometimes it helps to slow down. Sometimes it helps to take a breath. Sometimes if you know you're going into a difficult conversation, if there's a challenging conversation you have to have with an employee, with a teammate, with a supervisor, practice some deep breathing. It's going to help you to calm yourself, to center yourself, to focus on your breathing. If you realize that sometimes when you get really anxious, when you get really nervous, when you get really stressful, sometimes our breathing patterns change. So we've got to make sure that we're focusing on our breathing, and it just helps us to slow our heart rate down and just really slow down. If you know that your mind is going a mile a minute and you really want to go and do something that's going to take your mind off of the things you're working on, maybe sometimes breathing wouldn't be just the only thing you want to do. Something else I would suggest to do more mindful activities. So do some things that are going to take your full attention. Some things like journaling, yoga, meditation, all those things, even Sudoku. I love to do Sudoku. Things that's going to take your mind off of whatever it is that you're stressing over, whatever is making you anxious, whatever you don't want to do, whatever you don't want to focus on at that time, and just set your timer and just do that for a set period of time. Spend all of your energy on that one thing. That's going to help you to kind of take your mind off of it, give your brain a break. And so if you know that your mind is going all over the place, just try to do more mindful activities, and that'll help you to channel that energy in a more productive way. As you're being more mindful and you're approaching different situations in a more intentional way, sometimes it's not always about the things that we do internally. Sometimes being more mindful involves the things that we do with other people. So when I think about mindfulness, interacting with others, have more mindful conversations. Actively listen on purpose to people when they're talking to you. Give them your undivided attention. Don't try to multitask and send emails and respond to text messages. And I can be bad about that from time to time, if I'm completely honest. But being more mindful involves giving people your undivided attention, making sure they know that you are listening to them, you are focused on them, and they have your attention. My biggest tip for being more mindful, and it's probably the one that's most difficult for me to do, because I know I need to do it, but sometimes it's really hard to do it. So hear my heart on this. Take mindful breaks. That means like to step away from whatever it is that's stressing you out, that's making you anxious. Step away from it. Whether that means taking a walk, whether you work in an area where you can take a walk around the building or walk the stairs. What I typically do is take a walk on the stairs instead of taking the elevator. That's my version of a little break. Or going to grab a cup of coffee, or sipping some tea, or just sitting and listening to music. Just do whatever walking away and taking a break looks like for you. But the goal here is, again, just to kind of take that break, to back away, to not feel like you're in that rat race of life all the time. Being mindful involves making sure you're taking care of yourself and making sure you are complete and a whole person so that you can give your best work. At every stage of my career, and even outside of the work environment, my ability to stay centered has helped me to stay aware of my own feelings, and it's really helped me in a lot of ways. I know it's going to help you too. First, it helps me to be a better employee, because if I know my own limits, if I'm aware of things that make me upset, if things that rub me the wrong way, and I know how to channel that myself, I know how to get myself back on track, it makes me a more reliable employee, it makes me a more dependable employee, and it makes me a more credible employee. It also makes me a better supervisor, because if I'm able to supervise others, I've got to understand that just like I have limits, just like I have things that weigh me down, things that stress me out, I have that same compassion for those that I lead. So it helps me to be a better leader in that way. But it also helps me to be a better teammate. So even if you don't have other employees that you lead directly, it helps you be a better teammate, because it helps you to make sure that, again, you give people grace where grace is needed. And I feel like sometimes we get so bogged down in what we're doing. We think that we're the center of the universe, and we're not. So we have to keep that in mind, and being more mindful is going to help that happen. When we're stressed out, it's often a result of us feeling out of control. And at the top of this video, I talked about the fact that I help HR professionals to feel less out of control and more in control, less chaotic and more in control. If you need a tool to help you along that path, I have the perfect resource for you. I created the Thriving in HR Planner just for HR professionals because I understand how it's difficult to do the jobs that you do while also trying to be happy about it, to have a personal life, and then keep all your deadlines on time at the same time. So my Thriving in HR Planner is more than just calendar pages. So of course you can go down to CVS, you can go to Kroger, you can go to Walmart and get a planner that's going to have, June, July, August, whatever. That's basic, that's rudimentary. But when I say the Thriving in HR Planner, the reason why it's a planner made just for HR professionals is because every single week you have planner pages dedicated to HR disciplines. So you can track and see, okay, well, how much time are you spending in compensation? How much time are you spending in talent development? How much time are you spending in your own personal development? And not only that, because I know you are more than just an HR professional, you are a whole person. So every week there's a new affirmation for you to pour into yourself, a new space for you to be able to put your own reflections down. Say, how does this affirmation make me feel? What am I thinking right now? And beyond that, we can talk in other videos about this, but beyond that, every month you're going to reflect over the things you've done, things you want to do. Every month you have different goals you want to set for yourself. And there's also a self-care challenge that I built into this planner because I know I want you to be more mindful. I want you to be more organized, but I want you to take care of yourself more than just the HR professional you, but I want to take care of you as the whole you. The you that your family needs is so important. Again, your job is your job, your career is your career, and that's great. And often we're defined by that, but that's fine. But remember, your family needs you whole. So I created this planner to not only support your work you, but also the personal you as well. So if you're interested in that, click the link down below to learn more about it. Schedule some time with me to talk about it. Shoot me an email if you have any questions about it. I would love to support you in that way. If I can serve you in a higher level, if you're interested in more one-on-one coaching or group coaching, reach out to me. We could talk about that as well. I'll talk with you in the next video. Bye.